Awesome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm here with Alex Bonilla, lifelong entrepreneur, part of $1 Million Sellers, has his own Amazon businesses, TikTok shop, expert, all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, Alex, I'll let you kind of give yourself a proper introduction based off that.
Yeah, man. Awesome. Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. This is going to be a lot of fun, a lot of cool stuff to talk about right now. This is a crazy space in TikTok. So like you said, lifelong entrepreneur. It's somewhat true. Graduated in 2007 and probably didn't really dive into e-commerce full time to 2011. But it's been quite the journey. And right now, TikTok social commerce is kind of just blowing up, but it wasn't always this. It used to be even before Shopify. It was like a WordPress website where we were trying to sell, I think our first affiliate sell. So I read the 4-Hour Workweek. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of that. 2007, Tim Ferriss comes out with the 4-Hour Workweek. I read that book and I'm blown away with the entire concept of this whole new rich life where it's not about really how much money you make, it's about how much time you have to enjoy life. So he lays out this blueprint on how to essentially build a business where you can kind of work from wherever, from your computer, and everything is kind of either outsourced with VAs or done with like third-party services that will do most of this work for you while you're just chilling on the beach, right? Like the cover of the book is like some dude on a hammock. So, so completely sold on it. And I think at that time we were taking a stab at affiliate marketing. So I think our first ever e-commerce sell was a Blockbuster subscription.
Wow.
This is back when Blockbuster was trying to compete with Netflix, right? So Netflix comes up with the concept where, and even at this time, they were mailing you DVDs. So this wasn't all done on your TV.
Yeah.
So they're mailing you DVDs. Blockbuster, I guess they felt like they had a leg up since they already had all the inventory. So they jumped into this space. And for those that don't know what Blockbuster is, by the way, it's a video rental store. Video rental store tried to compete with Netflix by shipping DVDs to your house, and they would give you like $100 every time you basically got someone to go through your affiliate page and sign up, right? So I think we may have sold like 3 of those at the time, and that was it, right? So complete failure. And then it wasn't until about 2011, 2012 when we finally landed on the idea of basically creating our own product, our own brand, selling it direct to consumer online. And to this day, we still sell Moringa. Moringa is a superfood. Our brand is Puravita Moringa, and we try to sell and provide only the best Moringa in the world. So in the supplement space, it can get kind of dicey, kind of shady.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't know what, as a brand owner, you don't know what you're buying. You think you know. Some of these farms will tell you you're getting one thing and send you another. So there's a lot of shady stuff going on in the space. So we've always stayed true to trying to provide the best moringa possible, because it is a very amazing superfood that people love, and we want to make sure they're getting the right stuff. So we've been doing that for 15 years now, going on 15 years. Started D2C, again, before Shopify. And then we eventually merged our shitty little WordPress site over to Shopify. And then one day my brother's like, hey, let's throw this on Amazon and see what happens. Amazon's for books. This is before, people were buying stuff other than books on Amazon.
What year was that for people that are listening?
Oh, man, this must have been 2008. -ish.
Okay.
Yeah. So
really early days then.
Pretty early. But 7 years after we've already been on, WordPress for the longest time.
Yeah.
So we go ahead and launch there, and it kind of just blows up. And we're like, damn, this is pretty interesting. This is the future. So for the next, I would say, we're already 2005. So yeah, I can't even do the math that fast, but Amazon is basically our bread and butter. That's all I'm focused on. And that's when I joined about 3 years after that, or 3 years ago, joined MDS in $1 Million Sellers. And it's been a huge change in the trajectory of my business, my life, just being around that many like-minded sellers that are doing big numbers, right? I think an average MDS member does about $8 million a year in revenue. We have people doing $300 million a year. I think last year combined was like some crazy, like $16 billion or something like that in revenue. So that was a game changer for the business. And then about 2 years ago, as we all know, this little thing, TikTok Shop, comes out of nowhere. And ever since since about March of 2004, that has been my main focus is TikTok Shop, because we went viral on TikTok, and I quickly realized, like, holy shit, this is where it's at.
Yeah, TikTok Shop is what you're really maybe not focused on now, but that's like the latest venture that you've taken a step into. I do want to take it back before we get into TikTok Shop, kind of, early days, you got into Amazon. Is Moringa your first product that you developed and sold on the platform, or was there anything else before that?
No, yeah. Before we jumped into Moringa, we were in a tea space, like we were trying to compete with Fit Tea, so like a weight loss tea space, but geared towards the Spanish speaking community. That's kind of like our way of trying to be niched down.
Right.
Moringa came about a lot later. When my younger brother had moved to the Philippines. He was living there for the last 14 years. He actually just moved back.
Wow.
Which is pretty funny. And Moringa in the Philippines is actually grown it's grown everywhere, but you can buy it in the grocery store, kind of like we can buy cilantro or parsley here. Like you just buy bushels of it.
Right.
They cook with it. They put it in everything, right?
Okay.
Over there, it's called malunga. He's telling me about this product. It's a superfood. I have psoriasis, which is like an autoimmune situation, inflammation type thing. And he sends me some moringa powder from like a local farmer's market that he picks up. Sends it to me. I start taking it. I'm like, damn, this is good stuff.
Right.
And I try buying more on Amazon. And where else are you gonna buy it, right? And I can't find the same thing, right? This little $2 jar that he got from Manila is working way more wonders. It's bright green. You can taste it. It tastes real. It tastes like a plant, right? And everything I'm buying off Amazon is like super bitter, brown. It's not the same thing. It's not having the same effect. So that's when by this time we had already had some experience with Amazon, selling on Amazon.
Right.
The brand we were working on at the time was kind of fading out, and we decided to go ahead and launch the Moringa, and it's been around ever since. One day, Dr. Oz talks about it on his show.
Oh, wow.
Just the Moringa in general, not our brand, but we were like the only ones kind of selling Moringa at this time. And so our sales just like took off. Like we sold out of all of our product in 5 days.
Wow.
And at that time, we're freaking out, right? Because you don't want to sell out on Amazon. At least back then, I have a whole theory on how it's okay if you sell out now, because TikTok will bring you right back up. But so that is how Moringa started. We literally found it. I was taking it myself. Couldn't find the same quality of this little farmer market that they were providing. So we set out to find the best possible source of Moringa and bring it to the market. And we've been here ever since.
Wow. Okay. So that I was gonna ask you, how did you decide on what kinds of products to develop or sell on Amazon? It sounds like for Moringa specifically, it was just kind of luck, fate.
Yeah. No, a lot of it was luck. I remember when the Moringa does well on Amazon, we're making money, and I start to realize that there are all of these Amazon sellers out there that are and courses and stuff where they're teaching people how to find products to sell. I'm like, how do you find products? Like, how do you do research on what product you should launch? And there's like all these formulas. So I was like blown away because, once you start to see how fun and easy or once you get a taste of it, you're like, let's launch more products, right?
Yeah.
But we kind of landed on this one product by fate. So we had to learn how to actually find products. And that was a completely new thing for me. And we have launched other brands since. I'm in various spaces. I'm part owner of many different brands. I got a brand with my wife. I got a brand with my older brother. And so we did have to learn that whole tactic of how do you discover products? How do you find products? Product research. Brandon Young has a tool called Data Dive, which is you can't get started without it. Like, you need this tool. His program, Seller Systems, is actually really good too. Before joining MDS, you should just join Seller Systems. And that'll give you the roadmap on how to discover these products, find the products, and then go from there.
So specifically for Amazon, though, this data dive, the Brandon Young's platform.
It is specifically for Amazon. Now, I will be honest, and Brandon's a friend, so I don't mean any harm. TikTok has changed all of that, right?
Okay.
But if you still want to be an Amazon-only brand, which I don't recommend, but if you do want to just jump into Amazon, this tool would be for finding products specifically on Amazon, because what it does is just basically extrapolates all the data from search volume for certain products, and then it tells you how well the competition's doing for that certain product,
right?
And then it will basically evaluate your opportunity. Like, is this a niche worth getting into? And if it is, this is how much it's going to cost. So it kind of just lays it all out there for you.
Interesting. So is this strategy of finding products to sell, is this purely like focused on making money, or is it also related to, some people build a product because that's like their lifelong dream. You can think like Elon Musk with like SpaceX or something, versus someone wants to just, like a drop shipper wants to just figure out how they can make money. Go they take these courses on WAP or something, right?
Right.
Like which I guess mindset do you identify with?
Yeah.
And why?
Right. Yeah. So it's been an interesting ride, right? Because we landed on a product because it was, like a Elon Musk situation, right? Something, I have psoriasis, psoriasis, let's bring it to the world, right?
Yeah.
And then I figure out this whole Amazon space and quickly realize it doesn't matter what the hell you're passionate about. Like, if the market doesn't ask for it, or if it's saturated, or if there is no demand, like don't do it, right? You have to basically do the research, figure out so I had tons of product ideas, and then you do the data dive and you're like, oh, fuck, this is $20 a month.
Okay.
It's not going to work. Or you do the data dive and someone else is already crushing it. There's no point of jumping in the space unless you have tons of money to throw away on trying to launch this product.
Gotcha.
So it is kind of like that. That's what was kind of getting boring about Amazon and was kind of the downside about Amazon. It's like you're not really jumping into a space that you're super passionate about. It's more like you're just finding an opportunity and launching random stuff. At least that's how it was at one point. People did start to kind of figure out, like, if you do want to launch your own passion brand, maybe Amazon only is definitely not the route. You're gonna have to do Shopify, you're gonna have to do Meta, but still be on Amazon, because you need to give your customers as many opportunities to purchase your product as possible. So you still have to learn a little bit about Amazon, but as far as like Amazon brands, or most of what MDS was when they started, it was basically just trying to find any product opportunity, regardless if you liked it or not, and run the numbers, do the research, and figure out if there was an opportunity there.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I see. So MDS started off that way. It sounds like, though, recently strategies have changed. You mentioned TikTok Shop has changed that, and you don't recommend someone to go and just try to be an Amazon only brand or product. It's interesting that you mentioned that, because a little bit earlier while you were talking, you mentioned that in the early days when you were selling Moringa on Amazon, Dr. Oz mentioned it on his show, I'm assuming, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden you got sold out.
Right.
So that to me is really related to what's going on at TikTok Shop today and going viral on TikTok Shop.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I'm assuming that happened before TikTok Shop.
Right. Oh, yeah. This is man. I'm horrible with dates. If my wife was right here, she'd be like, boom. She would know the exact year and month that it happened. It was, I want to say 9 years ago. I'm going off.
Wow. Okay.
I've been with my wife. Even that's probably wrong. This was way before TikTok Shop.
Okay, I see. Now, does that point in time when that happened, did that help you kind of dive into TikTok Shop more, because it's like a virality concept or aspect, right? Of selling.
Right. So I guess when we first went viral on TikTok Shop, which was 2 years ago, it brought me back to the Dr. Oz thing, right? So you're just like, oh shit. But I couldn't just call Dr. Oz and tell him to do that every week, right?
Yeah. Right.
Now you can. Right. Now you can, or at least try, right? Not
Dr. Oz specifically, or
no. I mean, so I couldn't call Dr. Oz back then to be like, hey, do this every week so we can go viral, right? But now with TikTok, you can try to do that, right? You can try to go viral as often as possible. That's kind of the whole point, right? You just try to replicate your virality as many times as possible. You don't want to just go viral once on TikTok and think you're set, right? you want to keep on doing it. And so that's kind of what TikTok brings to the table. Everything that Dr. Oz did for us, we're trying to do now, daily or weekly, even if it's monthly, man, the numbers stack up.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the most powerful part of TikTok Shop as a brand awareness and discovery tool for sure. I'm curious, when did you start TikTok Shop? What product did you start TikTok Shop with? And how did you get into it?
Yeah. So at first, when I first saw the opportunity for a TikTok Shop, I thought maybe it would be a waste of time, right? So as Amazon sellers, we're always asking ourselves, like, okay, do we launch in Amazon Canada? Do we launch in Amazon UK, Amazon Europe? Do we launch on Walmart? At that time was a big shiny object. eBay, even Target. And what most people were finding is that you double the amount of time and effort in these other marketplaces in order to just generate an extra 5-10% revenue. So it ended up not being worth it. People were kind of pulling out of those marketplaces because it just wasn't worth the energy. Just apply that same focus on more products in the US, Amazon US, and that was kind of the final decision that most brands are making. So when TikTok Shop came out, it was kind of it was easy to look at it like, oh, this is just another one of those distractions, right? Like, sure, it looks nice, but if I double my output just to be on TikTok Shop just for an extra 10%, like, is it really worth it?
Right.
It wasn't until I started seeing a bunch of random brands on Amazon with 3.5 stars, 40 reviews, terrible listings, right? When you've been in MDS for 3 years, you've been an Amazon seller for however many years, you can spot like a terrible listing pretty fast.
Okay.
Right? And you can think you're spotting some fraud pretty fast, right? You see a listing that's that bad and it's ranking for these big keywords.
Right.
When I say big keywords, like how often are these keywords searched a month on Amazon? We have tools that can tell us that. So if you have a huge keyword that this terrible listings all of a sudden at the top of page 1 for, that normally takes months, sometimes years to get to the top of page 1, you automatically assume like, all right, this guy's doing some shady shit.
Right.
What's going on? It's probably doing fake buys. There's something going on.
Okay.
So everyone starts freaking out. Like, where are these companies coming from? And I just was obsessed with trying to figure this out. Right. So finally figured out that it was TikTok traffic. Right. So if something goes viral on TikTok, even though at that time TikTok Shop existed, people were more on the customer side. They felt more comfortable just leaving the TikTok Shop app, going to Amazon, searching it there, and purchasing the product there. So that happens less now. More people are getting comfortable with just making the purchase on Shop, but the purchases are still there, whether it's on TikTok Shop or Amazon.
Right.
They're still there, but a lot of people were leaving, going to Amazon. So that's why Amazon sees that outside traffic. They see these people coming straight to a website, knowing what they want, buying it. So Amazon rewards you with ranking you higher and higher.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's how that works. So they were doing it 100% legit. They probably didn't even realize that they were going to do that. Right. They were just like, oh, I have this product on TikTok. Might as well just throw it up on Amazon and see what happens. And so when you see that, you're just like, all right, well, this is what we have to do. And at that time, I'm selling Moringa, which is mostly a superfood for inflammatory situations, joint pain, and for the most part, our demographic is 50 and up. And I'm thinking, well, 50-year-olds aren't on TikTok, so let's not do this. And then I thought about it more. I was like, well, there's no way to know unless we actually try, right? So I started posting. We had a ton of content on YouTube, and that YouTuber gave me the rights to go ahead and just take that content, chop it up with like Opus AI.
Opus,
probably still around, but
it is.
They made everything so easy. So you just plug in a YouTube video, it spits out like 20 videos that you can use. Like, you should go in and
clip it a little
bit better, right? And we were just throwing those on TikTok once a day, every day for 30 days. I said, let's just give this 30 days.
So when you say you're throwing it on TikTok, is it your TikTok brand page or is it a TikTok Shop like affiliate account?
It's a TikTok brand page, right? So we put our products on, we open a shop, put our products there, and then you can tie one account to, at that time it was one account to that shop, and it can start selling from day one. So you need zero followers, and you can start selling only your products, right? So we start just posting every day, tagging our product, And on the 52nd day, it finally,
52nd
day. And you know what's funny is for the longest time we were posting these 9-second clips, 15-second clips, 30-second clips. Then I was like, you know, let's do a minute, and nothing was hitting. You know, 100 views, 500 views, maybe 1,000.
Right.
And then finally, you know, because these clips, these videos that I was clipping were like 30 minutes. Like,
yeah.
So this guy tells us like this crazy story about how he had rheumatoid arthritis and then Moringa. Like,
was this like a podcast video or like what was the original video?
Yeah, the original video was him and his wife basically just talking to the screen and telling everybody this amazing story about how he changed his life with Moringa.
Yeah.
And he does one of these a month for me, right?
Wow. Okay.
And so there's a ton of content out there. And I did remember it's like thinking to myself, like, well, I mean, his videos are 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
And they do really well. They'll rack up 1 million views.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And here I am trying to like do this in 9 seconds or 60 seconds because whatever, some guru told me, you know, 9 seconds or and I was like, you know, but you can't tell this whole story in that short amount of time. So I finally decided to cut a video that was 3 minutes and like 40 seconds. Which is pretty damn long.
That is for TikTok.
Today, that's long, right?
Yeah.
There's better ways to do it. And that's what did it. That went viral. It ran off like 1.2 million views really quick, rattled off like 2,000 sales. And that's when I realized, oh shit, there are 50-year-olds on TikTok. Like everybody's on TikTok.
Yeah.
That's what I quickly realized. Everybody's on TikTok. So it kind of doesn't matter if you think your product has a certain demographic. They're there and ready to buy. So that was in May of last year, and we've just been writing it ever since. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So just to summarize that, essentially the way you learned about TikTok Shop and got into TikTok Shop was selling on Amazon. You noticed maybe in the Moringa category or other categories, these random sellers that usually would be some, you know, black hat stuff going on, some fraud or something, ranking really highly on the front page of these big keyword right searches. But it was all being done legit, and you figured out somehow that traffic was coming from TikTok Shop virality. Then you went out to TikTok Shop, you opened up your own TikTok Shop last May, but instead of working with affiliates directly,
we did it ourselves.
You did it yourselves, which actually technically is that an affiliate though? The YouTuber that you were working with, was that like an affiliate for you?
No, he didn't have his own affiliate account on TikTok, but he is one of my affiliates. He's like a YouTube
on YouTube.
Yeah, so we do pay him a commission on everything that he does.
Gotcha. And he's driving sales to Amazon, I'm assuming.
On YouTube, he's driving sales to Amazon.
Okay.
And then on TikTok, we're tagging the product to
right. So interesting. I'm just trying to break this down for the audience. So you started off with your own content, but you didn't make the content. This affiliate from YouTube, that was an Amazon affiliate, made the content. You just paid him for usage rights. Could you, how much would someone have to pay for usage rights of like a 30-minute YouTube video? Could you say that?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't know because this particular YouTube channel, we go way back, like 6 years. At one point, he was just like, you do whatever you want with it. Okay. And then once we hit, I was like, hey, I gotta give you
compensate you.
I gotta take care of you. Like, look at these sales. And he's been very happy since, for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of his content has kind of been exhausted on TikTok. So we don't really do much with that anymore. And, you know, styles change, everything changes.
Yeah.
On TikTok. You got to keep up with that. But so I wouldn't know how much you would have to pay someone to get usage rights.
Okay.
Just throw it on TikTok. I don't recommend doing it without someone's permission, though. That's
right. Yeah, you can get a lot of trouble for that. You can get sued and things like that from people. So okay, so you got free permission for
pretty much. Yeah,
free permission. You clipped it up with Opus and other tools, posted it on TikTok for 52 days until you got your first hit. And then were you sold on TikTok? Did you see anything happen on Amazon as well?
The
second day?
Yeah, so we basically replicated everything that we were seeing on the Amazon side. These new brands that were coming out of nowhere, ranking out of nowhere with no reviews, shitty listings. But you know, we had 10,000 reviews, great listings, 4.5 stars. So our rank was already pretty solid, but you could see the search volume improve for Moringa. You can see the search volume improve for our brand name, right? So you could see basically everything that we were seeing and we were freaking out about, you know, these brands coming out of nowhere doing this. We did it, right? So at that point is when I realized, oh shit, TikTok isn't just another sales channel that can possibly bring another 10% to your business. This needs to be a part of your Amazon strategy, right? If you're an Amazon seller and you're not doing TikTok, again, this can be somewhat product dependent, right? I'm pretty bullish on TikTok. I feel like this can work with any product. And I'm sure there's some products out there that just won't work with, but a lot of people will come to me, I don't think this is gonna work for my product. And they show me the product. I'm like, this would crush on TikTok. Are you kidding me? So if you are an Amazon seller and you aren't doing TikTok, you're missing out on an opportunity to possibly 10x your business, double your business for sure. 10x is my goal. I want to 10x my business in the next 2 years.
Wow. Okay. So that's your statement to all Amazon sellers. Do you think TikTok, and it sounds like you're viewing TikTok as a marketing channel. Obviously you make sales on there, but it sounds like you're viewing it as a marketing channel.
Right.
Are you focusing your efforts on TikTok Shop, let's say like it's a break-even marketing channel? Or are you still looking to profit on TikTok Shop and drive sales through brand awareness and marketing to other channels like Amazon?
Yeah, well, I'm in a fortunate position to be in the consumable space. So I do think it's possible to profit on TikTok Shop. I do know brands that are just looking to break even because the spillover or halo effect is what people are calling it onto Amazon is so big that if you break it, people will lose money on TikTok. Yeah. Knowing that the spillover to Amazon is huge. There's some big brands that know the spillover to retail is huge, right? Yeah. Holy, for example, they're in CVS, they're in Target, they're everywhere, right? Yep. So I'm pretty sure they're losing money on TikTok, but it's fine because their sales on their website, their sales in retail, it have just blown up. So it does make sense to break even or lose money on TikTok. I do want to profit. I think, of course, the opportunity for that is getting even better because TikTok just rolled out the subscription option. So having that recurring revenue directly on TikTok, eventually you're going to have 2,000, 3,000, 10,000 subscribers on TikTok, right? And that's just free money, right? On in. But when you see the numbers of how many people are still spilling over. In the beginning, people were saying, without any scientific evidence, 10 to 1. Every one sale you got on TikTok, 10 were happening on Amazon. It's probably not that right now, but it could be 4. Four. So that's a lot. That is huge. Before TikTok, the only way you could really grow on Amazon is by launching more products. Or some people were savvy enough to do some external plays, YouTube, Facebook, and whatnot, to try to drive more demand. But for the most part, people were, they weren't that passionate about their brand. They were just kind of jumped into the space because they saw an opportunity. So it was just easier just to launch more products.
Right. And how much would you say you're doing right now, specifically on TikTok Shop on a 30-day look back in terms of GMV? And obviously, everybody started from zero, right? How hard was it for you to get past that cold start phase, and what kept you going?
Yeah. So we're in an interesting position, and in most ways, it's a good spot to be because this is what got us to where we are in regards to how much people trust our brand in the supplement space. So Moringa is a very hard product to come by if you want to meet the type of standards that we had set. So number one, just finding organic moringa is not the easiest thing to do. And then even if it is organic, in order for it to pass the heavy metals test that we set, as well as the microbial test, and then the color test. The color, if it's still green, that means it wasn't steam treated. And if it wasn't steam treated, then it's very nutrient dense. If it's brown, then it was either two things. It's either very old and oxidized, or it was steam treated and it's not as nutrient dense anymore. So there are other ways to treat moringa to make sure it's not dirty and pass those microbial tests that I was telling you about. That doesn't involve heat, and it's very expensive. So all that being said, what I'm trying to say is we don't have unlimited amounts of this stuff. Right? So that for the longest time, that was kind of a selling point for us. We have the best moringa in the world, but we don't have a never-ending amount of it. So buy it now. So TikTok, as amazing as it is, and I think everybody should be on it because not everybody's in my position, right? So we sell out every month now.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're sold out on Amazon all the fucking time. I'm not allowed to cuss? Or we're
if not, we can cut it out. If not, or bleep it out.
Yeah, so we're sold out on Amazon all the time. We're sold out on TikTok. We sold out on TikTok once, and I learned the hard way that selling out on TikTok is not fun, especially if you're pushing affiliates hard, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to get all these people riled up to talk to you about your product, to post about your product, building these communities, whether it's on Discord or WhatsApp.
Yeah.
You're putting in all this effort, and then you sell out.
Yeah.
And then their links are just gone, right? And they're all stoked because they're making money, and all of a sudden you're sold out and you have no more product, and their commission is gone. And by the time you're back in stock, like, good luck getting those people back on board, right? They've already moved on. They're selling something else. Maybe someone else's Moringa, right? Wow. So we made a decision a long time ago, actually. Unfortunately, it's been a little too long, but we're getting to a spot where this is no longer the case. But to not push shop as much as organic and lives. We still do a lot of lives. You can kind of control lives. Lives don't really go too viral. You kind of know maybe you'll get 100, 200 sales a day. But with a shoppable video that goes viral, you can get like 1,000, 3,000 sales.
Yeah, it just goes.
Right. Yeah. Really puts you in a tough position. So currently, we are selling everything we have, right? Everything that we have access to in regards to the what I think is the best Moringa farm in the world. We're selling it all, right? So I'm not really too bummed out about, GMV that, used to be 200,000 and is now like, 50,000. Sometimes we have months where it's not even that, right?
Wow.
Because we are just pushing lives, but we do a lot of TikTok organic. We're just pushing views to keep the awareness there. So that still has a lot of spillover over to Amazon. So slideshows and stuff like that.
Gotcha. And that's on your own brand page?
No, those are affiliates. You can get affiliates to do TikTok organic for you, and you just pay them on a view bonus, right? So if you sell out on Amazon, they don't care. They still get their view bonus. It doesn't matter if the sale happened or not. So, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with paying those bonuses because we're still a touch point that they're creating for us with potential customers. So I'm willing to pay.
Interesting.
That. If you look at it at like a CPM level.
Yeah, probably way lower CPM than you'd get on Meta, for example.
25 cents.
Wow. Yeah. For TikTok?
Yeah, if you're doing the slideshow method. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And I'm assuming it's because it's such low effort for the affiliates to do, right?
Yeah, a lot of them are from abroad, overseas, and $250 for 1 million views is okay.
So when you say TikTok organic, that's not actually TikTok shop affiliates doing that for you.
No,
it's regular TikTok accounts.
Regular TikTok accounts. They start fresh accounts, 0 followers. You don't need followers for this, right? Yeah. It does help if they have 1,000 followers, so then they can put a link in bio, and you just send that link to Amazon. So that is a good benchmark to hit for these types of accounts. But yeah, they're not creators. They're usually not showing their face. It's just usually either a slideshow or a video of some sort that doesn't tag shop. But when it doesn't tag shop, it's a different algorithm now. So the virality chances are sometimes better. Some people say, yeah.
I see. So TikTok shop specifically, you're still doing lives. And are you still doing brand page content at the same time?
No, actually, we've laid off brand. It's just too hard to post on your brand page and not tag products. I've found. So when we're in a few weeks here, we're gonna be ready to go, pretty much relaunch on TikTok.
Really?
Yeah. With fully in stock, ready to go. So we will ramp up our affiliate outreach again. Turn that bot back on and just ramp it up, and reach out to some affiliates from the past. Bring on some more live creators, get more aggressive with lives, and turn GMV Max back on. Like it's on, but it's like $100 a day or something like that. Yeah, turn that back on. So we're super excited. And again, we could have done this months ago if we thought, it was a good idea to lower our standards on Moringa. I mean, I get a new Moringa sample on my desk every 2 weeks from a farm in India or China. I got one from Japan the other day, and I send them off to test, right? They'll send me the sample with a COA that tells me exactly what it tested at, heavy metals, microbials. And then I'll be like, all right, if your COA looks great, I'm going to go test it. Right. If it matches, we're in business. It never matches. It never matches. So we could have gone that route and just bought in that stuff anyway and never ran out of stock, but that's not the game. We got in this game to sell the best Moringa in the world. Not to sell the most Moringa in the world, the best Moringa in the world. And hopefully one day we will sell the the most best Moringa.
The most. You probably are selling the most best.
Yeah, we're already doing that.
Yeah. Just
the
more
most and the best.
right.
Yeah.
More of the most best Moringa. So are you still sourcing that Moringa from that one farm in the Philippines then?
No, we never actually ended up sourcing from the Philippines. Yeah, they're it would be nice to source a product from the Philippines, but we had one sample from a Japanese company that was growing in the Philippines. It didn't pass, so we couldn't bring it on. We're mostly sourcing from Colombia.
Oh, South America. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. So you had just paused TikTok Shop affiliates because you were selling out already. Right. So you're like, I don't have anything else to sell. So why turn on the affiliates and go viral and drive awareness, right?
Right.
Drive traffic. So
and piss off the affiliates.
So what specifically happens or happened when you'd go out of stock on TikTok Shop? What would the affiliates do? Like how would you handle that situation and recover and prevent it from happening again?
Well, it happened once, and I was like, I'm not gonna let this happen again.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, what happened?
Yeah. So people freak out. The little shoppable banner is gone. They're freaking out. They think that like I got banned or something, or and then you tell them like, don't worry, we'll be back in stock. Don't worry. And then every day, like, are you gonna pay me for all these days that I've missed? I was making $200 a week or whatever. And that's a lot of money to a lot of people. So and all of a sudden my link's gone. Are you going to pay me for those demos? Like some people I did, right? Because I felt so bad, and I want them to be on board. And then we did get back in stock again, obviously, and then kind of just let everybody know, like, hey, this is the situation. Don't pour your heart and soul into this product until we're ready to go.
Right.
And we'll be ready to go here soon. But yeah, man, I mean, my goal on TikTok Shop alone is to do $1 million a month.
Wow. Okay. And how were you communicating, and how are you communicating with your affiliates on, when you went out of stock? How are you talking to them? Now, do you have like a community or something, or how are you communicating with your best top performing affiliates month over month?
Yeah. So with my particular product and the type of creators that I was able to bring on, they're all in the older demographic, at least for the shoppable affiliates. And they were much more inclined to use WhatsApp as opposed to Discord. I use Discord for the slideshow guys.
Okay.
And the TikTok organic stuff. That's Discord, and then WhatsApp's actually pretty good. They got the community section now, which is pretty good for that.
Got it. And how important do you think for focusing on TikTok Shop and shoppable affiliates is a creator community, and like what keeps them engaged? Because I've heard a lot of brands complain, based, even like really big brands that do $1 million a month on TikTok Shop. They're like, oh, my Discord community is dead. No one's engaging. No one's talking. Same with my WhatsApp community. How is your WhatsApp community engagement looking like, and how do you keep people engaged, and what are you doing there?
Well, at this particular moment, they're pretty engaged because this one is mostly live creators, right? So they're going live, at least 3 times a week. Sharing each other's wins. Everyone's rooting each other on. Okay. It's only about 50 people in this group, so it's not a huge, crazy Discord community of thousands of people. But I mean, to back it up a little bit, there are brands that aren't even doing this, right? Yeah. They're not even doing Discord or WhatsApp. They're not even doing communities. Right. They're just sending out samples like crazy. Right. Send out 9,000 samples. Maybe half of them get posted. Of that half, maybe 20% make a sale. Right. And then of those 20%, 95% of them will never post again. Right? Yeah. So people aren't even doing the Discords or the WhatsApps. So that's your first step, right? And how do you get people into your Discord? I think bots are great for that, right? It's almost impossible to do without a bot. So getting people into your group, this isn't gonna make a lot of sense for all brands, but I think the more the owner is involved with the group, whether it's Discord or WhatsApp, the better, right? These people love the fact that they're actually interacting with someone who built the brand themselves. I mean, imagine if we all had the chance to like jump on a call with Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg, right? Yeah. He's actually there, like pumping us up, telling us, "Hey, keep it up," right? Yeah. That's kind of like what I mean. Don't get me wrong, we're not near that level, but I mean, they love that, right? They love feeling like the owner, believes in them, that they get way more bought in. Now, again, not all brand owners could ever see themselves doing something like that. or maybe some brand owners aren't even in the US. But if you have the opportunity to be as involved as possible with these groups, I think that's better.
So what does like a minimum level of involvement look like? Because I would agree with you. What I've seen working in terms of engagement for other brands is having at least one person, even if it's from your team, just like every day talking to them one-on-one, helping them with violations and things like that. Just really just caring about them as a person. Like, how's your weekend? How's your dog? How's your mom? Things like that. I do agree with you that a majority of brands, the founder doesn't have enough time to get on all the time on a Discord or a WhatsApp, or, you know, to your point again, some of them are just like a little bit shy, or they're like, this isn't what I do. I'm a more back end type of person, which is fine. But what is like the minimum level of involvement you think a founder should have? And what are the different ways they could be involved that maybe appeal to all these different personality types and like amount of time that these founders have?
Yeah, I was just in New York for an MDS TikTok mastermind. One of the guys there owns Happy Nuts, the care for nuts.
Yeah,
men's nuts.
Like what kind of nuts? Yeah, men's nuts. Okay,
yeah, and I think they're doing $50-70 million a year.
They're doing good.
He jumps in on these calls about every 2 weeks, right?
Okay.
And so I mean, you know, if a $50 million owner can do 2 hours a month, you know, I think that's good. I mean, they love it, right? From what I understand, the people love it when he shows up, right? So that 2 hours a month, if you have a solid team that's taking care of the rest, right? You know, you need someone in these groups every single day to handle questions or training, or maybe sometimes do interviews with people who are crushing it, motivation, all that stuff. You do need a solid team under you. If you can establish that and then just check in twice a month, that should be enough. If you don't want to be super involved, I think that would do it.
Okay, twice a month, check in either on a webinar or like a video that you send.
Yeah, definitely. No, don't check in with just like a message, right? Okay. Hey, everybody, keep up the good work. No, like an hour long webinar. Okay, like a Zoom call.
Like Q&A, office hours even, and just like, hey guys, let's chat, talk about stuff.
Right.
I see. Okay, that makes sense. I think that sounds doable for maybe even everybody.
I mean, the ROI is right. You know, if you're gonna do this right, this needs to be done for TikTok, right? And the ROI that TikTok provides to your overall business is it's worth it.
And you did say like you could 10x your business just from opening and running a TikTok shop successfully, right? Overall, not just on Amazon, but just your overall business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I mean, I made the claim at one point that you could actually 10x your Amazon business,
right?
Just your Amazon business.
Yeah.
And the way I think about that is, if you have a product that is searched 20,000 times a month, and you're making $10,000 a month in sales off that keyword that's searched that little, not little, 20,000 is a good amount. But you can get TikTok to turn that into 200,000 searches, which I've seen happen over and over again.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you're selling $100,000. That's a 10x, and I see it happen all the time.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, if that doesn't convince whoever's listening to this to get out the TikTok shop or open an Amazon if you're on TikTok shop.
That too. Yeah, I'm surprised you do see that. A lot of TikTok only brands, right?
Yeah,
they're missing out by not being on Amazon.
Yeah, that's what I suggest to everybody. I say first on every call we have for our product, it's like, are you only on TikTok shop? Are you on Shopify, Amazon? Where else are you set up? If you're not on Amazon specifically, we do recommend setting up on Amazon as well, just so that you have something to capture that traffic that goes off of TikTok shop, right? So I do want to ask a question about live selling, because a lot of these brands that are cold starting, which like a majority of brands are cold starting, and I'm sure you've heard of how big of a problem that is. I think you have like a strategy session mastermind for MDS about TikTok shop all the time, right? So like, how big is live selling a part of the strategy for cold starting brands? Like live selling, do you do it yourself? Do you get affiliates? How do you find live selling affiliates? How do you manage them? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So the cold start is a huge part of all of this, right? There's a lot of brands that get super excited. They're Amazon brands. They get super excited about the prospect of selling on TikTok. They set up a shop, and they they start giving out samples like crazy on day one. 0 sales. So for those that don't know, the social proof on Amazon is reviews. How many reviews and how many stars? The social proof on TikTok is how many sales have you had, right? And then once people see whether it's a creator or a customer, and they see your amount of sales that you do have sales, let's say you have 1,000 sales, they'll go and look for videos like what videos generate. If you're a creator, you're looking at those videos to be like, what creator generated these sales? That way I can just copy it. And if you're a customer, you're looking at, oh, I want to learn more about this product. Let's go look at some more videos, right? So, but it's just, if you have 0 sales, then it's pretty safe to assume that there's no videos, right? So starting off from 0 is really tough. So the cold start is super important. Now you asked like, what role do lives play into the cold start? And I've changed my tune on that a little bit. Because people get really excited about TikTok, so they jump in and they want to do everything. They want to do samples. They want to do lives. They want to do a sweepstake. We'll give away an apartment in Miami.
Like a condo.
They want to do all this stuff that I see go. It's like, dude, no one's gonna enter your sweepstake. Like, you have 0 sales. Like, they want to build an army on Discord. Like, no one's gonna join your army. They don't even know who you are. So people get really. So I used to tell people, like, hey, kick back on the lives, man. Like you can't go live yet. I mean, no one even knows who you are. I think that I may have changed my mind on that in a few regards, but I do think there's a strategy that you need to implement in order to be more successful. Collaborating with other brands, I think, is huge. So if someone's if someone has let's say, for example, my team, I have 50 people going live every week, right? And you don't have to talk about just one product on a live. So a good way to cold start your product, maybe rattle off a few hundred sales, is to go ahead and collaborate with those other brands. Say, hey, I will give your live creator 75% off flash sale, or an 80% off flash sale, like something super aggressive, right? If they just talk about my product for 5 minutes at some point in their life. And some of these products will make sense. Like if you're talking about Moringa all day and you want to sell me a vibrating plate, you're kind of talking to the same health conscious person, right? So my Moringa creators can sell vibrating plates all day, right? You give them a 75% off flash sale, they'll move that for you. So if you want to go from 0 to 100 sales really quick, that's one way to do it. But dedicating an entire live to a product with 0 sales will be more difficult, but I think that might be better than just giving out 1,000 samples and seeing what will happen. So certain products, I think it's worth, if you can find, that's the other thing too, it's hard to find creators to go live on products that aren't proven, right? They want to be able to say, like, look how many sales this has already had. If you're an Amazon seller and you have a bunch of sales on Amazon, that can help convince a creator to go live for your product, but on the lives they can't say Amazon, so that doesn't really help in that regards. But lives are huge. Again, right now they're like our lifeline. They're what's keeping us alive on TikTok while we work out our inventory situation. But there are ways to utilize lives to kind of help you get started, and that's one of them.
Got it. So how did you find your live creators, and how, in what capacity are you working with them?
Yeah. So right now, I mean, I have 2 VAs that are in the WhatsApp group, just constantly refreshing flash sales, right? So if someone's out of flash sales, we have people in there 24/7 that will give them, like, so we have people in the East Coast that are going live before they go to work, right? So 6 a.m., 3 a.m. for me, right? That way I can help them. So we have VAs in there 24/7 helping out with that. And I believe that the best people to help you find more live creators are your live creators, right? Wow. So if you take care of these people, give them as many flash sales as they need, be super responsive, have an awesome community. We do bonuses, right? If you do a 500 GMV live, you're going to get a bonus. We do not too many contests because I want everyone to win, right? So we have, bonus, like it looks like a contest because like the first one to hit it might get more, but everybody has a chance to hit it. Right. So we just really kind of like nurture them, make them super stoked to be a part of the brand, and they will be the ones that will reach out and find more creators for you. Now, how do you get started? You still need to find someone to get going for you. And if you have to pay hourly for that, I think it's worth it. Join Brands offers a live situation where you can pay them by the minute, I think. Interesting. That could be a way to test it out.
I see. So, but your live affiliates that you work with, is purely commission?
Yeah, purely commission.
And then maybe some contests and things like that.
Yeah.
Based off of sales or based off of views?
GMV. Yeah, GMV.
Okay. And then another big part of that strategy is the flash sale during the live, just making sure that there's always a flash sale going on to incentivize purchase.
Yeah, if so you'll have creators that you can go live with any product, right? If you're a creator, you can basically put any product in your thing and go live with it.
Right.
But if you're going live at full price, it's going to be pretty hard to sell. But if you go live with a flash sale, then things get a lot easier for the creator. So making sure you support those creators with as many flash sales as they need. We also have giveaways. We have other products that they're allowed to give one away every hour to help with retention.
Right.
Yeah. And then we also have products that we do on we call them traffic drivers. So they'll be like 80% off for the first 10 minutes. So in the first 10 minutes, you want to rattle off as many sales as you can. It kind of tells the algorithm like, hey, put us in more For You pages to help us. Gotcha. So when they see that, that helps. So traffic drivers, 80% off. It has to be a product that you're not going to sell for the rest of the live, because if it's 80% off for the first 10 minutes and then sales over, then people just leave, right? If that's the only thing you're selling. So make sure the remainder of your live is a different product.
Interesting. Okay. But that first 10 minutes of that one specific product is just to get people to the door, and then the rest of the time you're selling them something else.
Right.
Okay, I see. The strategy you mentioned earlier about brand owners that are cold starting, working with other brands like Moringa, with your live sellers, that's a very interesting strategy I haven't heard before.
Yeah.
How, like the vibrating plate, for example, if I'm selling the vibrating plate, I don't know you, but I see your live affiliates selling Moringa. How can someone like me selling the vibrating plate with 0 sales and I want to get into lives work with someone like you?
Yeah. Well, you can reach out to me. But you wouldn't even reach out to me, right? You would reach out to the creator and say, hey, Mr. Creator, I see that you're selling a health supplement here. I also sell something in the health space. I can assign you 5 giveaways or 5 80% off flash sales. Like, would you be willing to just throw these in there at any point? And what that can do is get these creators to be like, sure, yeah, because that's going to help. Like having an 80% off flash sale is going to help my other live, right?
Right.
Now that creator might want to run it by the brand if they have that kind of relationship. They might want to run it by the other brand, just say, hey, I'm going to also sell these on this brand. But a lot of creators don't even have that relationship with the brand, so they can do whatever they want, right? So that's a good way to kind of get in with the creator. Hey, this creator's gave me 80% off flash sales. Yeah, I'll sell these real quick for them.
Yeah.
On the brand side, like, well, why would you want to do that? Well, every time someone sells something on a live, you're going to get a sale next to your product chart, right? And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get that number at least up to 100 as fast as possible. There's other ways to do that, but that's one of the ways. So that's what I would do. I would just reach directly out to the creator, or if you know other brands, if you're in MDS, right? There's 700 of us, right? So it's really easy for us. Reach out to me. I mean, I know 700 people that might do this. But and otherwise, just reach out directly to the creator. You assign that creator the flash sales in your backend. It shows up in their dashboard. They can put those flash sales on in any one of their lives at any time.
Okay. And how does a brand owner with the 0 sales and the vibrating plate reach out to that creator? Where do they reach out to that creator from?
You would have to message them through TikTok.
Okay, so the TikTok front end or the affiliate center or like email.
However,
any of those,
any way possible.
Is there any which way that's like more efficient or higher chance that the affiliate's going to respond? Like I've heard, for example, on Twitter X, there's this one creator who's really big, and he specifically will interact with people that are in his live comments, like when he's going live, like commenting in there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
You can say that, okay?
Yeah. Watch their live and then just comment in their live, and then if you're on your brand account, even better, right?
Yeah.
And it says your brand name,
right?
And then just tell them, hey, I'm gonna DM you, man. Or, I just actually got a lady on board the other day. Every once in a while, this is gonna sound pretty funny. So I'm so involved with my live creators that every once in a while I'll just jump in on the live and when they see my name pop up, they just start talking about how awesome I am. I'm just like, chill.
Yeah.
It's me. I had a bad day. Let's go hear how awesome I am. So I'll flick around just to see who's going live at the time, and I landed on a lady who had a really cool setup, right? So your entry rate is huge, right? So that's a metric that TikTok looks at. So your entry rate is gonna be based off of like, what do people see right away when they're scrolling? And she had a really cool setup, and so I entered, and I was like, she was talking about, I think, SNAP supplements, and I just commented, said like, you're gonna first I went and looked at her statistics in the back end on the seller side, right?
Yeah.
Center, and I saw she didn't have a ton of sales, but I saw like she was pretty impressive, and I'm like, this is a future rock star right here. That's all I said, but it said my name, and she's like, oh, thank you so much. She's like, oh, actually, I know who you guys are. I've been trying to reach out to you.
Oh,
my bad. I don't know.
Yeah, come on, man.
I was like, let's talk. Check your DMs.
Wow.
So how was that? And she's on board now. Her samples are en route, and she'll be doing lives for us.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
What do you think is the best and most efficient way to find these live creators as a new brand owner or regular TikTok shop affiliates that make those shoppable content? What is the best way to find them? What is the best way to reach out to them?
Yeah.
In your opinion?
Yeah. So I think the easiest and like most essential thing that I think everyone needs to do is at least run a bot, right? There's a time and place for a bot. I think you've heard me say this before. If you're just starting out, again, we were talking about like these brands that just start out, they have 0 sales. That's your social proof. I would be a little hesitant to like really jump into the bot aggressively. Again, if you have a ton of money and you're cool, if you're Nike, or turn the bot on.
Right.
Just turn the bot on.
Yeah.
Send. You don't even have to filter it, right? Just send as many. Everybody knows who Nike is, and if they have a chance to get a free sample to post a video, like they're gonna take it.
I'll do it too.
Yeah, sure. Send it to me. But if you're a small brand that no one knows about, there is a safe way to run the bot from day one, but you just have to be really tame and don't get too excited and just be like, oh I unlocked access to send 1,000 messages or whatever it is, because you are limited to how many messages you can send when you're first starting out. And then once you hit a certain amount of sales a week, TikTok lets you message more, and people just get so excited they think they need to exhaust that every day.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that too early with 0 social proof, you're most likely just going to give away a ton of sales. A ton of samples to people who don't know what they're doing, right? Because the only person who would take a product that has 0 sales is someone who doesn't know what they're doing, or they just really like your shit and they just want it, right?
Yeah.
So if someone saw your product and you had some sales history and they know what they're doing, then they're gonna dig in more and look for the videos. So there's once you get to a certain point, the bot then is just like, is mandatory, right? You just turn this thing on and try to get as many samples out there as possible. That I do think there are things that you need to do to, as far as sample approval goes, be a little bit more strict on that. Don't just give it to everyone. 2 years ago, you just give it to everybody, right?
Yeah.
You don't even look. But now you have to look at these accounts, right? Even if the account has a 90% post rate and 50,000 GMV, take a look at that account.
Really? Even then,
I know there are filters and stuff that auto approve these types of things, and that's huge. You do need that. But I would even, if you have the time and have the resources, maybe take a look at those too, because there are a lot of accounts out there that they're posting 6 different products a day, right? So they're getting a sell a day, so they have 50,000 GMV because they sold 50,000 different products.
One sale per product.
Yeah, exactly. One sale per product. So you don't want to give that guy a product. Now sometimes you'll see someone that posted a product every day for like 10 days. Yeah, maybe that's you're gonna want to give them because they're gonna give you 10 posts. Sure. Send that. So the bot is like a no-brainer, right? And I think some of the smaller, like more tedious ways, like I just mentioned, like actually getting on someone's live and complimenting them, and like that scaling that would be tough. But there are ways. I think that's a really good way to do things too, whether it be DMs or finding their email or reaching out. Some of these, they have Instagram accounts as well, reaching out to them there as well. that obviously you can't scale, but it's worth a shot, especially if there's like a big brand or a big creator that you want to go after. But
got it.
the bare minimum, once you're ready, run a bot.
Okay, I see. So it sounds like in the very early days, just cold starting your brand, maybe the bot isn't the best option for most brands unless you have a ton of samples to give out and you can kind of just spray and pray and kind of see what comes through the door.
Yeah.
But still do the approval and the manual check on everybody that submits a sample request. But then you're saying after, maybe like 20K GMV per month or like even 10K GMV per month, the bot comes into play more.
Not necessarily GMV, but how many sales are on your product?
How many sales?
Right.
Okay.
So for some products, it's 100. Some products, if you're the first one in market, no one else is selling it, and it's just like a super, oh shit, that's dope, I want that.
Yeah.
100 sales should do the trick.
Right.
200 for others, 500 for others. If you're selling supplements, it might be 1,000. Right. Yeah. You need 1,000 sales before you churn that bot on it and really start hitting it hard. And then again, for some products, like Nike, you can turn them on day one.
Zero sales.
Zero sales.
Yeah. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I'm curious, what is your end goal in terms of your entrepreneurial career, in terms of all the companies and brands that you own? You do TikTok Shop, you do Amazon. What is your end goal with everything?
Yeah. No. So I mean, I do have a goal to 10x in 2 years the Moringa business. I had said something a few years ago about wanting to be retired by 45.
Okay.
So I have 2 years.
Okay.
Well, 2.5 years for that. So hopefully I hit that first one, right? I don't think when you're an entrepreneur and you kind of have this brain that works the way it does, you probably don't ever retire. My dad is 70 something years old and he's still like driving around, going to job sites and stuff. And like,
really?
Yeah, he just loves it. Like, he loves talking to people.
Working.
He loves selling. He loves closing deals. Like, it doesn't matter where we're at, man. He's just like texting someone, a price for something, right? So it's if it's in your blood, you'll always work, right? So yeah, I would like to have one big exit by 45. That'd be great, to where you're just kind of set for life and I can just spend more time. And don't get me wrong, like I have a very fortunate life set up now with the way my business is. My office is 0.9 miles away from my house.
That's awesome.
My office looks like a house. It's our office, our warehouse. Like, and we just had a baby girl 16 months ago.
Congratulations.
And that's like game changing when it comes to like the way you look at the world and the way you look at life. So just being able to spend a ton of time. I'm going to be old too, right? My daughter's going to be, I'll be like 60 some years old when my daughter's in high school. So I want to be, done, healthy, just that way I can, go to her sporting events or whatever, and not look like an old geezer. So.
And stay nice and fit.
We'll try. For sure.
Speaking of which, what's your skincare routine, man? Like, I feel like you don't look like you're 45.
I don't know. I think it's
the Moringa, maybe.
Moringa.
I got
Moringa. Take Moringa every day, baby.
The best of the best.
The best of the best.
Okay, so it sounds like you've been a lifelong entrepreneur. It's in your blood. Your father still works. But it does sound like, your goal is by the next 2.5, 3 years, you want to have a significant exit of this, just the Moringa business or just all your businesses?
It'd be nice if it was all the businesses. Yeah. But I'm also really passionate lately about helping other brands. And, I've been in MDS 3 years now. I do the TikTok channel lead there, and we do monthly calls. So it's been a ton of fun helping people open their eyes to this TikTok opportunity. I think a lot of people are struggling with this cold start, right? We talked about how things get a lot easier after 100 sales, after 500 sales, 1,000 sales. But in the beginning, it's you can waste a ton of money giving out. People will hire agencies to do this for them, right? Yeah. So you hire an agency, $5,000 a month, and in 2 months they'll give out 1,000 of your products, and let's say your COGS are $5, so you're out $15,000, starting from zero, right? So trying to help nip that in the butt. I have a cold start formula. If you ever if you want to know about it or learn about it, just hit me up, or we'll do it for you, right? We can do the cold start for you. If you want to get from 0 to 100 the right way, we have ways to do that, and be more than happy to help anybody do that. So I think that would be something we'll hopefully do for however long this social social commerce lasts.
Yeah. Is that like, do you have to be an MDS to get that benefit or to work with you, or how does that work?
No, MDS pretty much gets it for free.
Okay.
Yeah. You just pick a call with me anytime and we can talk it through. What I have found though is after talking through it, a lot of times they're just like, well, can you just do it for me? So my older brother and I are rolling out service where we can handle those first 2 months for you, get you started. Right.
Okay.
So anybody can access that, and just at the moment, it's still in its infancy. We're taking on a few brands right now, just to kind of prove the concept. And then we'll roll it out big time. We'll help anybody out.
Oh, so are you basically starting an agency, a TikTok shop agency?
Yeah, so you can call it that. I hate
the word agency.
Right. You're right. And my original idea was to just help with the first 2 months, just the cold start. But a lot of feedback that we're getting is if you do that right, then they're gonna want you to stick around. So it's no contract, month to month. The first 2 months is the only commitment, and then from there, you could either go with another agency, do it yourself. I mean, anybody in MDS, they're my friend, and I'm gonna always tell them, try to do this yourself.
Yeah,
because it's doable, right? We built these great Amazon brands ourselves. You can do this. But there's a lot of big brands out there that just they want to be on TikTok. They don't want to touch it. But they want to be there. Yeah. And they'll pay someone to do it. So and in certain situations, I think agencies actually are pretty good.
I see. It just sounds like as long as they know what they're doing and they're actually doing some sort of different strategy that you could just do yourself.
Yeah, there's plenty of agencies that will take $5,000 of your money per month and give out 500 samples per month, and then 2 or 3 months later, you're like, "Damn, I'm $20,000 deep and I have 0 sales."
Yeah. I've heard of those stories.
Yeah.
So then, what is your business model with the agency you're rolling out, and is it different for MDS members versus not MDS members?
So it's really simple. We're just gonna basically guarantee you 100 sales in the first 2 months, and we have a way of implementing that. It's not just 100 sales; it's 100 videos that will generate these sales as well. And that's a guarantee, right? So, and then we will also help you with your repurposing of owning this content, posting it on your own brands and other channels, running GMV Max, try to get even more sales. So try to snowball those initial 100 videos into as many sales as possible. Depending on what kind of product it is, we'll be able to gauge after 2 months. All right, was that enough? Do we need to do more, or are we ready to go with all the other cool stuff, right? Running a bot, sending out samples, hiring creators on retainer, doing a sweepstakes, goalie style, building your Discord, right? So many brands start doing all that stuff from the get-go.
Way too early.
And then 2 months in, you're exhausted, right? You built this Discord full of people, you hired 10 guys on retainer for $1,000 each. They didn't do anything. You made this fancy PDF of this Miami house you're going to give away to someone. Like you put in all this work, and then nothing came out of it, right? So we're trying to help people, like, don't do that. Do the cold start first, and then we can go from there.
I see. Wow. Okay. I mean, I didn't know that you're working on this, so it's great. Have you told others about this before?
This might be the launch, actually. This might be the announcement. No, a few people know about it. Again, it's super small in its infancy right now. We're going to prove the concept. We've already proved the concept several times, even just my own brand, with some friends' brands, right? Yeah. But to do it at like an agency type level or a client type level, we'll be ready to roll this out in the next couple of weeks.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to kind of like give a rundown of roughly what that looks like what you do for people, or do you want to save that for another time?
Yeah, we'll save that for another time. Okay. But the difference is what we're doing. The deliverables are guaranteed, right? If you believe me that if you believe in my theory that you can't start with 0 sales, and I can promise you 100 plus sales, hopefully 1,000, but at least the bare minimum 100 with 100 videos that you own the rights to. That's a guaranteed deliverable, right? And that's going to be, we can promise that. So
within 2 months,
right? Maybe even faster. If it happens faster, then it's up to you. I mean, want to get going now with the bot, or you want to start building your Discord now? Do you even want to keep us on? Or do you want to do it yourself?
Right.
But at least we'll get you guys started the right way.
Wow, that's a strong
How we
offer.
do that, that's kind of secret.
Yeah, of course.
But,
Yeah,
yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense.
But if you're an MDS, I'll tell you how we do it.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, let's pitch MDS. If
Yeah.
you're selling $1 million a month, $1 million a year on Amazon or any e-commerce platform, and you want to be hanging around with the 700 like-minded people that are doing the same, average $8 million,
Right.
and you want to just be able to have a community that you can run things by. I joined MDS because being an entrepreneur, especially an e-commerce entrepreneur, it gets lonely, man. Like, I still have friends to this day that I've known since I was a kid that don't know what I do, right? They just don't understand. They can't comprehend it, right? So nobody talked to you about this. Even my parents don't even really understand like what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So joining a community, I think, is huge. You know, David Guillen, who owns Mary Ruth's, started off in MDS at $2 million a year.
Wow.
And now he's doing, you know, multiple 9 figures.
Crushing it everywhere.
Crushing it
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you want to talk about MDS, hit me up. I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it, give you all the info, and show you like all the cool stuff we have access to, and go from there.
Well, awesome. I guess we can just end on that note then.
Yeah.
I just tell people where they can find you.
I think the easiest way is just email me, Alex, M as in Mary, Bonilla, Bonilla @gmail.com. That's my personal email. I've been using it for years, and that's the best way.
Awesome. Sounds great. Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah, that's coming out. Thanks for having me, brother. Appreciate it. Cool.
Awesome.
All right.